Hello YouTubers, Reloading Bench back with you once again. I'm going to call this a troubleshooting video. I had a question from somebody and their their comment was, hey, I just picked up my G4, and you know what, I don't remember if this is the G4 or the G3 from Unique Parts. I got this a year and a half ago or something. You can see how used it is. This thing, and you can see how worn it is too. And I'll tell you why it's worn. This thing has been absolutely phenomenal. Best case loader I've ever used, hands down. Can't say enough about it. Again, you can see it's used. It's weathered, and it's been perfect. So zero complaints. But the question that somebody had for me was, hey, I just picked this up. I tried getting in touch with Unique Parts. They're in Australia, so between the time zone change, it's not going to be instant customer service response over email or phone. So his question to me was, hey, I put this together and it's locking up on the upstroke. I'm not sure what that means. So I'm guessing on the upstroke, by locking up, if you see how close a fit that is hairline. It barely clears this drop tube. Let me throw a piece of brass in there just so you see. Sorry, hitting the camera. So it barely clears this arm on the shuttle. This is adjustable. See how there's a lot of movement, and there's a spring in here. And naturally, I'm a little off, and that's what seats it in your first station for decapping and resizing. So when he said that the arm or it locks on the upstroke, the only thing I can think of is this shuttle, specifically this arm, is too far forward. And I've had this before, and that's why you'll see, and I don't know if the camera's picking this up, so I'll put a little extra light on it. If you see right there at this tip, you can see it's chewed a little bit. Just like you can see that there's a little bit of chewing here. And that has been from, over the year, how about this? Over the thousands of rounds, the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So the vibration and the movement, there's a hex screw in the back of this, in the center of the back of this shuttle, that controls how far forward or back this arm is. And it's one of these two, and I can never remember. It's either the 3/32 or 5/64. I cannot remember. If I were to say, Jack, hey, redesign would be have that screw almost out to the ass end of this, because trying to get it in there and twist it, I end up using a much longer hex set. But that's beside the point. If this is too far forward, it's going to hit this drop tube, and that's where you can hear some of the chipping. That's where I was getting this chunking, because I'm focused on other things and wasn't focused on the exact fitment of that shuttle, or the arm on the shuttle, and that's what was causing the inability to have the ram all the way up. And maybe that's what he's referring to with locks up. So the only thing I can think of, because there's not a whole lot going on here, is the shuttle, specifically the hex screw in the back of the shuttle, needs to be adjusted counterclockwise to pull this back a little bit so that it clears. And obviously there's quite a bit of clearance you can have. I tend to run it really close, and that's probably a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing in the sense that my tolerances are tight, but a bad thing in after a few hundred or a few thousand rounds, the vibrations twist that screw a little bit and it works itself forward, and that's where you get the hitting and the prevention of dropping the ram, or at least having the ram drop all the way down. So that's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing I've had to adjust in is it a year and a half or 2 years? Whatever it's been, many thousands of rounds, flawless, absolutely flawless on this configuration. If anything, I would get the new versions just to refresh the reds, because it's worn. You know, this has seen usage, and it operates, as far as I'm concerned, today as good as it did day one, minus again this very infrequent adjustment. And I usually catch it when I'm reloading and I hear a clicking, and the clicking is that when this has worked its way too far forward and is hitting just the edge of this particular drop tube. Otherwise, it's a completely silent and smooth movement. Oh, minus my primer tube hitting the camera tripod. That's it. I hope this helps in terms of clarifying what it may or may not be. Now the drop tube wants to hit the camera constantly. I hope that helps, and that's the only thing I can think of that would prevent, unless you've got something going on, you know, with your dies and something else is happening that, you know, I'm unaware of. But if it's assuming that there are no dies in the station, so the only thing that could be happening is this shuttle and this arm interacting with this drop tube. So hope it helps. Take care, folks.